Okay, now I have the example for the design for context-free grammar. So let's see how you can convert this language into grammar. Okay, so we will talk about much more about how you can convert the particular language into the grammar. So for the just for introduction, you can see it as here. So L is equal to a to the power n, b to the power n, where n is greater than equal to 0. So if you see an example of this language, let's say triple A and triple B. Okay, and triple A and triple B. So here I have three A's and three B's. Oh, okay. So if you put n is equal to 3, so you will get the same string. Okay. So actually this when you design the PDF for it, so you always push these A into the stack, and for every B you pop the A. Okay. For this B you will pop this, and for this B you will pop this A. For this B you pop this A. So every A should match with the every B. Okay. So how can you write the context-free grammar for it? So basically, what you can see here, so you can find some recursiveness here. Okay. And what is the stopping condition? So this is the actually stopping condition when you stop your push. Okay, push operation, and then after this push operation, and then taking a certain pause, you will start pop. Okay, when you design the PDF for it. Fine. So that means here n is equal to 0. So you will always stop at what condition? So your basic condition will be S is the starting symbol. So your basic condition will be S implies epsilon. Okay. So because what is the basic condition here? So how can you always calculate? How can you always write the rule corresponding to the basic condition? So first try to find the least length or the smallest length string for the particular language. Okay, so you can get the smallest length string by putting this n equal to 0. So if you put n equal to 0, you will get a to the power 0 and b to the power 0. That means epsilon. Okay, epsilon. So you can write it as S implies epsilon. So this is the basic condition. Now turn is to find the recursiveness here. Okay, so if you take this variable S and you write A here and then the matching B here, so you can generate the every string which is actually produced by this language. Okay, so suppose that if you wanted to generate this string, so you can write as S implies ASB. Okay, ASB. Now your one A and one B has been generated. Now to produce this A and this matching B, so you can then again replace this S with the same rule A S B. So here I am replacing this S with the same rule A S B. Okay, this thing, and I am copying the B here. Now your double A and double B has been generated. Now to generate the third A and B, so you can again replace this S with the same rule ASB, ASB. Okay, and then you can write the rest of the string. Okay, now your work has been done. Your string 3A's and 3B has been generated. So now you can replace your S with what? Basic condition. Okay, stopping condition for any recursive function. Okay, so here my recursive notation was S implies ASB. Okay, so you can then generate this string like this. Okay, so your recursive definition will be recursive rule will be ASB. Okay, so what are my grammar tuples here? VTPS. So basically I have two production number 1, production number 2. Okay, so P is defined. Starting symbol is again S here, and terminal is your A and B. Okay, so you will write the A comma B in the terminal, and terminal is a finite set. Okay, so variable b is there is only one variable s, so you can write it as like this. Okay, and in case of production, so you can write these two production in the within the set. Okay, starting symbol is actually s here. Okay, so I think this is clear to everyone. Okay, so this is my grammar corresponding to this language. Okay, so now can you generate the leftmost and rightmost derivation for the triple A and triple B? So actually uh, I have generated the derivation for this triple A and the triple B. Okay, I have already generated the triple A and triple B. So here you can see that there is no concept of leftmost and rightmost derivation, because here I have only the single variable. So here I will get the leftmost and rightmost variable both same. Okay, so now see a different example, another example. So here in this case you can see that this is actually a regular expression. Okay, regular expression. Okay, so that means this is regular expression, that means this is actually a regular language. Okay, and every regular language is actually context free language. Okay, every regular language is context free language. That means you can write the context free grammar for it. So my question is to design the context free grammar for this language. Okay, my question is to design the context free grammar for this language. Okay, so for this language, what you can see, you can observe it here that this 0 star is not a constant number. Okay, so this 0 star can generate many symbol, like it can generate epsilon, it can generate 0, it can generate double 0, and so on, double 0, triple 0, 40. Okay, and this part also is a variable. Okay, so for this part and for this part I can consider these two things as variable, and this one is fixed, so I can consider that constant. Okay, so suppose that my starting symbol is s, so I can design some rule like this is a variable, so I am giving it as a, and this is constant, so I am writing as it is, so this will never going to change, and this is also a variable. Okay, this can generate many strings, so I am here writing the b for it. Okay, so now I have replaced this 0 star with a, so I should write the rule corresponding to it. So how can I generate the various string? Okay, so basically if you try to find the recursiveness here, so you can either write 0a or a0. Okay, or you can replace, to generate this epsilon, so you can replace your a with epsilon only. Okay, so if you wanted to generate this single 0, so you can either generate through this rule or through those rule. Okay, so if you wanted to generate single 0, so if you follow this rule 0a, so then the next step you can replace this a with epsilon, so 0 epsilon is nothing but equal to 0. So, okay, so let suppose that, let's say I am following let's say this one. Okay, so here I am writing a0. Okay, or to stop this recursive conditions, I can write a implies epsilon. Okay, fine. Now for the b part, from the b part you can either generate 0, so you can either generate 0, or you can either generate ones. Okay, how many? Many ones or many zeros. And here also you are having a star, so it can always generate the epsilon symbol. Okay, so this can generate the many zeros or many ones, and it can also generate epsilon. So stop condition will be here is b epsilon, b implies epsilon. So this will be the grammar for this given language, given contextually, or you can say the regular language. Okay, so this will be my grammar. Okay, so in the previous case actually I have shown you the the different version of this by taking this, and you can also write it as like this one. Okay, you can also write it as like this. Okay, so you can, so this is actually a left linear and this is actually right linear. So here I am writing, so this is here I am writing the I have shown you the right definition, right linear definition, and this is actually uh, you can say left linear definition. Okay, so now can you generate the leftmost and rightmost derivation for 00011? Okay, so yes, you can generate. So for generate the leftmost derivation, so actually you will start your derivation from, let's say, starting symbol, and which is equal to A1B. Okay, let me write it with text here. So you are actually starting with the A1B. Fine, A1B. Okay, then what you can see, then you can replace this A with 0A. Okay, so here I'm writing the leftmost derivation first. Okay, and the rest of the string will remain same. Okay, so then what will happen, your single zero has been generated, and then you can again replace your A with 0A. Okay, and then rest of the string will remain same. Okay, then what you can write again, replace your A with 0A to generate the third zero, and rest of the string will remain same. Similarly, now your work has been done through A. Okay, so now you can replace your A with epsilon. So here I'm writing, let's say nothing for epsilon, or you can write epsilon here, but here I'm not writing. Okay, because epsilon is zero length string. Okay, now for B, for generating second one, so always one has been generated already. So now you can replace your B with 1B to generate the second B. Okay, so your second B also has been generated. So now second ones has been generated. So now you can replace your work is done. So now you can replace your B with epsilon. So you will get 00011. So this is actually the leftmost derivations. Okay. So now how can you write the rightmost derivation? So let me tell you here. So you will always start from the starting variable A1B. The rule corresponding to the starting variable is A1B. And then now if you are following the rightmost derivation, so you will always replace your rightmost variable. Okay, so your single one has been generated. Now you want to generate this other one. Okay, so your both of ones has been generated. So what I am doing here, so now I can replace this one with epsilon. So you can write A11. So I'm not writing here epsilon. So now there is only one variable here. So you can to generate the zero, you can replace this. You can replace this A with 0A. So you will get this one, and then again you can replace this A with 0A. So you will get this one, and then again in the recursive process you can replace this A with 0A again, so you will get this one, and now you can replace your A with epsilon, so you will get 00011. Okay, so this is the leftmost and the rightmost derivation for 00011 for this given language and the grammar. Fine. Yes, so now comes to another topic, that is derivation. So derivation tree is also called it as parse tree, and parse tree is very closely related to derivations. Okay, so if I talk about in the previous example, so what is actually parse tree? So actually parse tree is nothing but uh, a, writing the or generating the inputs, let's say this input, generating the input by tree formation. Okay, so how can you build the tree to generate this string? So you can write here your starting symbol. So your starting symbol is actually having this rule. So your starting symbol is having A1B. So A is at the leftmost variable, leftmost position, and 1 in the middle, and B as the rightmost position. So you can write like this. So this tree, this S node will have 3 child, A, 1, and B. Now to generate this 0, you can replace this A with which rule? This rule, 0A. So you can replace this A with 0A. Again, for to generate this second 0, so you can replace this A with 0A. Again, to generate this, generate the third 0, so you can write a 0A here. Now your work has been done, your 3 has been generated. Now you can replace your A with epsilon. Okay, so if you again replace this A with 0A, so your fourth 0 will generate. So that's why you will stop here, and you will replace this A with epsilon. Okay, now 1 is constant and your B is variable, so 1 is already generated. Now you wanted to generate this second one, so you can replace this V with this production rule. So you can write here 1B. Okay, 1B. Now both ones has been generated, so now you can replace this B with this rules. B implies epsilon, so you can write it as B implies epsilon. So this is actually nothing but a derivation tree, or you can call it as parse tree. Okay, so if you analyze this parse tree, you can see that the root is your starting variable. Okay, so your root will always be your starting variable. Your variable, your all variable will be present at the interior node positions, and your constant or the terminal will stay at the leaves position. So this is leaf, this is leaf, this is leaf, this is leaf, 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 and the leaf. Okay, so all the terminal will present at the leaves nodes, and all the variable will present at the interior node, and at the root the starting variable will present. Okay, so these are the rules for the parse tree. So all terminals will be all terminal will be at the leaves node, all non-terminal will be at the interior node, and starting variable of the grammar will be present at the root node. So here I am having the example for the given language L. Okay, so L is equal to A to the power n, B to the power n, C to the power n, and D to the power n, where m comma n is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so you have already seen the grammar for A to the power n, B to the power n, where n is greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so this is nothing here is nothing new than this. Okay, so actually I am having the same thing here, but and just your variable has been replaced, your constant has been replaced in the for in place of n I am using here m, and for a I am using c, for b I am using d. Okay, so I should match this a with b, and I should match this c with d. So let's consider it as different language, and this as different language. So this is actually concatenation of two different languages, L1 and L2. Okay, so I can write the grammar rules for L1, I can write the grammar rule for L2, and I can concatenate these two rules. Suppose that the variable I am choosing for this L1 is A, and I am choosing the variable for this is B. So you can write the rules for A as similar to this language. Okay, so I can write A, capital A, B. Okay, so this will always check the uh, equal number of A and B. Fine, and the stop condition or the basic condition will be here epsilon. Okay, so if you put n is equal to 0, so you will get epsilon. Okay, so your basic condition, or you can say stop condition, will always be the smallest string. Okay, now similarly for the second language, so you can write it as C, B, D. So with the help of this recursion, you can check the equal number of C and D. And here also your smallest string will be epsilon. So second rule will be to stop this recursion. So you will apply B implies epsilon. Okay. So now if you to concatenate this, you can take a new variable S, which is your starting symbol, and you can concatenate this language, this rule with this rule. Okay, so you will get a b. So you will have three rules: S implies ab, and then a implies aab epsilon, and then b implies cbd epsilon. Okay, so this is the grammar for the for the given for the given for the given language. Okay, so now this is the grammar, and how can you write the leftmost and rightmost derivation for double A, double B, double C, double B, C, D? So you can write it as, you can start from the starting string, starting a rule, S implies AB, start symbol. So then you can replace your A in case of in case of leftmost derivation, because this A is the leftmost variable. Fine. So your A has been generated, first A, and to generate the second A, you can again replace this A with AAB. So your double A and double B has been generated. Now you can replace this A with epsilon. Okay, fine. You can replace this A with epsilon. So now you wanted to generate CD. So there is only one variable here. So you can replace this B with CBD to generate CD. So your CD has been generated. Now you can replace your B with epsilon. So you will get double A, double B, CD. Okay, fine. So to generate the RMD for the same example, so you can replace this B first, CBD, and then you can replace this B with epsilon, and then there is only one variable. So now you can replace this variable A with AAB, and then again AAB, and then again you can replace this capital A with epsilon. So you will get double A, double B, CD. Fine. So now can you construct the pass tree or the derivation for this? So yes, you can generate. So basically you will start from the starting symbol. So starting symbol is having two variable as implies AB, and then to generate this A, so you will replace this A with A, capital A, and B. Okay, first A has been generated. Now to generate the second A, so you can again replace this A with A, B. So your both A, double A and double B has been generated. Now you can replace this A with epsilon, and similarly to generate this CD, you can write it as C, capital B, D. Okay, and now you can replace your C with epsilon. Okay, so if you want to see the input, so you can follow this tree, you can read from top to bottom, left to right. So your whenever your input is your whenever your terminal is encountered, you can print it as like this. So A, and then you can move to this A, your A come, and then after that you will encounter your epsilon, and then after that your B will encounter, you can write print B, and then B, and then you can move from left to right, you will get C, and then epsilon, and then you will get D. So here you can write epsilon and then D and then D. So this is nothing but equivalent to double A, double B, CD. Okay, so this is actually your pass tree or the derivation tree corresponding to the given grammar. Okay, so this is the pass tree. Okay, now let's compare the various derivations. So actually all definition or the all derivation is actually same. So for every grammar you can derive the particular string with the help of leftmost derivation. You can also derive the rightmost derivation. You can also write the pass tree for it, and you can also write the recursive inference for it. And similarly, you can write the derivation. In the derivation, you actually use the leftmost as well as rightmost derivation. Okay, so this is actually a mix up of left and rightmost derivation. So for every input, for every grammar, you can always write anything that is leftmost derivation, or rightmost derivation, or the parse tree, or the recursive inference. So that means you can call it as both things are similar, or you can say it as these are equivalent in power. Okay, all the representation are equivalent in power. So where should I can use this context-free grammar actually? So you can use the context-free grammar in case of your to describing the programming language. Okay, so you mainly use these context-free grammar in the parser. So you will more read about parser in the compiler design course. Okay, and the second application is actually to development of markup language like HTML and XML. So in these languages, you actually have head, you actually have title, these tags. So these tags always actually follow some recursiveness. Okay, so here I have mentioned two application of CFG. So for more example and more theory, you can just refer these two books, KLP Mishra and the Hopcrafts. Okay, so thank you very much.